Hello, everyone. I'm here with a guest. Latrap, say hi.
Hello. I should mute you in. I should mute the stream.
Yes, one of those things. Me or the stream. One of
I'd
those two
do it in
things.
the stream because Discord, I'll get the information faster.
Yes. Let me just do this. We'll
Yes.
set
Okay.
this early. So tonight, very exciting. I'm definitely gonna want to save this VOD if I can. Ben, if you can figure out how to save the VOD, that would be great. I love you. As I scream for technical support. We're going to be playing Hearth, a TTRPG that I made mostly with a good friend of mine who is just not any longer on the project as of recently. I'm very excited about it. I'm very proud of this game. Latrap here has been anxiously waiting to use up that 10k redeem that he somehow built up.
Somehow.
Yeah, this is gonna be
dedicated viewer.
It's true. It's true. You're on all the fucking time. I wouldn't be surprised if you have like another 10k ready to go.
How much am I at? 4K? Yeah, 4K.
4k? Okay, yeah. So soon. Soon you'll have another one.
Next week.
Next week. Yeah, I mean, this could easily turn into more than that if you don't die in this one shot, which I happily made it a little bit extra deadly because I knew it was going to be one shot, and this guy's kind of an asshole. You guys will see.
Oh, yeah.
But the mechanics in this, to put it on record, are very new. And when I say that, I don't just mean new. I mean like incredibly new. Like never been done before. Trailblazing. Yeah. So it'll be a little bit to pick up for anybody watching, but hopefully through context it'll kind of start making sense. My idea is to just play the game, and then people pick up clues as time goes on. I do want to put on... Here, does this work? How well is this able to be seen? I need to test this. That's good. Okay. So I will not be reading chat while we play.
I'm still fiddling with my computer setup. I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. I want to see anything? I won't be reading chat as we go, because I will be focusing on the session. So, that. What would be a better way to say this? Can't see chat, maybe? So I will be, I will technically be able to see it, but for all intents and purposes. Writing with a drawing tablet is something else.
It wasn't so easy seeing me do it.
It's like, it's so close.
You know what'll help? If you play Osu, you should. No, don't do that. That ruins a person's life. That ruins a person. That's
Osu is a void that I don't see people returning from.
That was one of the lucky ones.
You were one of the lucky ones that came back from Osu. But I won't be seeing chat.
How much better?
So there'll probably be an intermission where I'll go see chat, right? But not until then. How do I should have set up a redeem for this or something in the title. Oh, you know what? I'll do that. I'll edit the title. Hold on. I have the power. Chat till intermission.
I know, we'll be able to clip funny moments.
Yeah, get fucked. Someone else is going to have to click the funny moments for you. Okay. Are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So we're gonna start with your wonderful character. What was it, Spec, if I remember correctly? Spec.
Yes.
A Vi mad scientist. a small goat anthro that recently has escaped the confines of a kind of mental institute, mostly a prison, for experimenting on other kin.
Yeah. As one does.
As one does. The way that you did this was not the most. How do I say this? Conventional nor proud way to leave. You exited through the trash chute of the institution. So you had the whole thing planned up. You got out of your straitjacket, not actually fully out of it. You're still wearing it, but you were able to get your arms free. Basically make a mad dash. And using a couple of potions you concocted, using milk glasses, milk jars that you were able to snuffle away into your room, were able to get into the trash chute. And the last thing you remember is diving headfirst into darkness. And as you wake up, your head is pounding. You haven't taken any actual damage. But you feel harsh, sharp edges around you. And it is completely dark except for one beacon of light far above you with a loud clatter shuts closed. And you have no idea what's down here, but you are somewhere in the trash chute now.
You're in my natural habitat.
You're in your natural habitat. You have to find some way to get out. You have everything, all of your equipment and stuff. You're able to grab your bag before you left.
Alright.
Since it's mostly a prison, they did just have it waiting if you ever left, which they didn't expect you to.
That was their mistake.
That was their mistake. They fucked up.
Is it possible to try and make anything out in the darkness, or is it completely like pitch black?
You are on a pile of something. This color is going to be you. You are in just a pile of darkness.
Alright. Is there anything I could do to try to identify what I am standing on, or is it... Can I assume that it's trash?
You can assume that it's trash.
This isn't... I've been here before. Not been here. I'm used to digging in the trash. Is there any way that I could search the garbage for anything of use?
Sure. Do you want to do it dark, or are you just going to start snuffling in the dark, or do you want to find a light source? Because you don't have any kind of night vision, correct?
Yeah, I don't think I do. I don't think that's something that comes with the trait. The kin.
I don't think so. No.
Then, if possible, I would like to look for a light source. Would that be analysis?
Analysis is a good place to start. Probably the most effective check here to use might be Inquire. But there's a couple of different things you could do if you wanted. You could also just go, I don't know, analysis awareness, analysis focus.
I think analysis focus is Inquire. Yeah, I'd like to put 5 action points in Acquire.
Oh, if you look on your character sheet, it uses the 3 stats that are listed under it. It's basically just short.
So Acquire is and I'd like to Inquire. So would I Inquire?
Yeah, you Inquire and then you split your action points between those.
I don't think I'd work too hard. I think I'd just do 5 action points in the Inquire.
You have to choose how you split those 5 action points between those
in
stats.
those... Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
And there's no reason not to use your full 10 if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'll put 3 in focus, 4 in analysis.
3 in focus, 4 in analysis?
And awareness,
you can put
3?
0. 3?
Oh, that's a nice even 10, right? I'll put 0.
Yeah.
I'm not trying this hard. I know, I feel like I'm already at it.
Okay. I'm assuming you're adding your modifiers to those 2?
Yes. That'd be +4 and +3, so it'll be a 6 overall to focus and a 8 in analysis.
So 8 analysis, 6 focus, and 3 awareness. That's pretty damn good. So you start feeling your way around, and you start seeing, you know, like these kind of like big hunks of metal in the dark, right? That kind of like they're not swampy. They're not like normal trash bits as you go. Kind of making a very methodical circle out from where you were, and from what you can tell, because your analysis is so high, that they're large cogs and long iron beams, bolts, you know, screw threads. You're getting all these little details because of your high focus too. You're not exactly putting together what's in the room beyond that, but you're getting those things. But eventually, you do stumble over what feels like a candle. Well, actually, no. With your check, what's clearly a candle. It's not too much of a candle, but it's enough to light. Someone was a little bit wasteful.
Ew, hate that. If possible, do I have a way to light it?
Do you have anything in your inventory?
Can I light it with chalk?
With chalk? I don't think chalk has flammable properties.
That's gonna be for a powder explosion later, I guess.
You can keep exploring deeper into the room if you want to, with that same check.
I would like to. I'd like to see if there's a door or something that I could light a way out, or a way to keep on exploring with the candle.
Okay. So eventually, you find the outside edge. That's not the circle I wanted.
Oh, art. Drawing string.
Nope. Why are your fucking hotkeys so weird? Paint.
Don't disrespect paint. Paint's the best.
There we go. Just imagine this perfect circle. So you find the edges, but you do also find, like, around the edges as you go out, there is, like, just general, like, kind of clumps of slime. It almost feels like oil. It almost feels like blood, but not really either. But you do find the edges of the room. You find not really too much in particular. You do find a very rough piece of wall, and something that with your high analysis and focus, you're barely able to manage might cause a spark. It feels pretty rough. It feels pretty metal. It might be iron. You cannot tell for sure. But that might be able to give you a spark, or you can keep looking. You can also just... Oh, you also did find a door, actually.
Wait.
There's a door here, and there's a door here. And you can tell that this trash heap is like a cone, right? So the edge kind of curves and goes up. Almost like the inside of a beaker, now that I look at it. So you fell in here to this big old mound of trash.
I like to try to light the candle. Maybe that'll see if there's any labels or anything that could lead me to the exit.
Okay. So you start hammering away iron, hopefully, against the wall. You get a couple sparks, but it's not iron. It's something kind of close enough. It's very loud what you're doing, and it's going to take a long time, but you could light the candle this way. Do you want to take that time, or do you want to look for something else? Or do you maybe want to try to get out the door?
When you say loud, like the people at the top could hear this?
Maybe. It's a huge trash chute. I would be surprised. You'd be surprised if they could hear anything.
You know, I would seeing that this is gonna take some time, and I'm a busy man, as you could tell. Totally,
Very busy, man.
very busy digging in the trash. I'm gonna go through one of the doors. I'll go through the door at the right.
Okay, so this one?
Um,
I should use your color. This one.
yeah, I have to. Yeah, yeah, I'll go through that one.
Okay.
Or first, is it possible to like peek, see if there's anything around, try to sense anything or look around?
Sure,
Maybe
what do you
put,
want to use to do that?
Uh, maybe 3 points in awareness, uh, and 4 points in instinct. So it'll be 2 instinct, 3 awareness.
2 instinct, 3
Sounds
awareness?
Yes.
And you're just looking around this main room or the new room you're going into?
The room I'm about to go into.
Okay. As you approach, you're pretty bad at both of these things.
Correct.
Getting to the door, it really just feels like a dead door. The sense of the unknown starts kind of creeping up behind you. In the absolute lack of vibes you get from this door.
Oh, L vibes. Is it if that's the case, I would try to see the other door, maybe check. Can I get a vibe check on the other door?
Sure, you want to use more of your action points this time? You got 10 every round, so...
I do have 10. I might as well go all in with... I'll do 8 instinct, so that'll be 6 instinct and then the other 4 awareness.
Okay. So, on this door now...
Yes.
So, going up to this door, as you press a little bit harder to kind of hear and understand, beyond the door, with 4 awareness, you're kind of listening. You hear some sounds, maybe like a dripping or a ticking, something kind of like a little bit high-pitched and rhythmic. But with the 6 instinct, something does start piquing you. You start feeling the hairs on the back of your neck stand up a little bit, and something feels wrong. Something feels
like
off.
A danger, or wrong as something like
there's
the vibes are not immaculate.
There is something that you feel like is important, but you're not aware of it yet. Like something doesn't add up.
At this point, weighing his options, I think he'd definitely try to get the light on the candle before exploring, knowing that the vibes are questionable through that door. So I think he'd spend the time to light the candle.
Okay. So you start banging metal on brick. An
everyday experiment.
It makes a loud clanging. And eventually, kind of about halfway through, like you're kind of figuring out how to like get sparks flying, and you're making it a little bit rougher. You're kind of like cupping your hands a little bit. You're getting used to the feeling of getting singed on some of these sparks. You hear something. In fact, you don't just hear one thing. You hear a lot of little somethings, and with a slight glow, you see begin little somethings moving around in the pile of trash. You can't quite pinpoint exactly what they are, but it's a little bit of something, and it's definitely not. Definitely doesn't have immaculate vibes.
Not the best vibes, huh?
It seems like they're generally moving towards you as well.
Generally moving towards me? I think at this point I try to walk along the wall, see if I could make some distance while still trying to using climbing hooves. I'd like to try to get on the wall and still strike the match to see if I get vision first before making any rash decisions.
Okay. As you back up, So because this wall is pretty inverted, right? There's a little bit of this ledge here, considering scale. Like if I want to put you to scale in here, then I'm gonna say you're like this big-ish if you're curled up. So you scoot up into this corner. I'm gonna need you to put points into finesse. No, actually, no. You have climbing hooves, and it's not actually like straight up. You're actually fine. So you keep sparking, trying to get the candle.
I want to get. I need vision. I fear.
The glows begin to move towards you, and as they come out of the trash, you're not really getting anywhere particular with the light. You can actually make a check if you want to try to one last ditch effort.
If that's the case, I'll try to do. I think I do 5 points into focus, 5 into analysis, just to, like, see if either I could get this. Actually, no, I think I'd focus completely on trying to identify what this. If I have to focus on exactly what this thing is.
Ah, I see.
So that'd be 8 focus, 9 analysis.
Very good. As you watch from your little corner, a little bit away from the muck and the slime, you see sharp little legs begin to creep out from the trash. Not lifting and falling, but dragging their way out of pieces. And as you look, these almost cyan colored glows from the darkness, surrounded by the gray and black of this chamber, they're just that. They're legs of all kinds. There are bug legs and spider legs. There are human legs and animal legs. And as they reach forward, they scramble for something to grasp on. Eventually being able to tug forward a few more inches fervently as they're desperately trying to grow closer to you.
All I see is the leg. I can't make out anything else. Do I know it's just legs?
Everything that you can see is just legs, yeah.
I think at that point, I would think this is really not. This can't be it. This can't be things that are happening here. This is just another delusion of mine. I think if anything, that actually might be hard to do. I'd like to see if there's a way to maneuver myself around them while still sticking to the wall to see if I could find my way to the door and open it. Maybe I'd like to put 4 finesse into it, and then 3 analysis and 3 focus. So that'd be 4 finesse. No, I forgot how much I said already. 2 minus. So that'd be 7 finesse, 6 analysis, 5 focus.
Okay.
Just trying to avoid them while moving to the door and opening.
Sure. The finesse easily allows you to stay on this little ledge. You're able to stay tucked up tight up into this little tiny crevice, and as you move, they definitely track your movement. They can't really like look at you necessarily, but they start spasming to try to get a turn. Huh?
Gotcha. Like they kind of sense that I am moving and they could track me.
Not super accurately, but they are. And they start moving as you begin to move your way around the room to the other side, to the door. Your analysis and your focus kind of keep up with the movements. And as you watch, you see more of them begin to kind of push their way up from the stones that make up the floor of this trash pile.
So, I feel like that he's natural. I feel like that he's a little safe. Now the curiosity comes in. He's gonna look around. Is there any way to like pick up a little piece of metal or something on the floor to throw it to see if it's sound that they're attracted to?
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff. Less on the outside here, but there's plenty of things. Do you want to do it once you've gotten to the door?
Yes.
You reach down. You find metal. What points are you going to use to throw it?
Could think something acrobatic. So acrobatic athletic. He's gonna make it for himself. Do 5 endurance, 2 finesse, 2 power. He's not too worried about this, so it'll be
It's just a light toss.
yeah, 3 endurance. Man, math start. 3 endurance, 3 finesse, and 1 strength. Just to toss it, see what if anything is happening over there. If they are attracted to the metal, or if it's just they sense organic and inorganic.
As you toss the pebble, it kind of lands and splashes and kind of squelches a little bit as it moves through whatever slime substance is on the floor. And they don't react to it at all. As you're watching, the space in the stones begins to move more, and you see 2 dark blue glowing eyes looking up at you under a particularly large flagstone.
I think at that moment, he felt he was in control and now no longer is, and I think he's gonna move through the door if he could open it.
As you open the door, on the other side, it is a long hallway full of teeth. Not animal fangs, but actual just flat incisors and molars sticking out of the walls. And it looks like it just stretches down forever.
This is not ideal. Looking at where the eyes that were seen, does it look like the eyes are moving towards me as well, or are they just staring?
Oh, the eyes, as you glance back, an arm is out from under the position, and the eyes seem to have adjusted as it's moving its body. But as soon as you look at it, it freezes. The arm is laced with these light blue veins that glow around the necrotic hand.
I'd like to put in. Let's see. I gotta analyze this dude to see what's happening. I'd like to. I want to say 5 points into analysis, 2 in focus, and 3 in awareness. So that'll be 9 analysis, 3 awareness, 5 focus. Is this corporeal? Like, is it something physical, or is it like spectral almost?
As you put your points in with the heavy lean into analysis, a switch flips in your head, and all of a sudden you come to the surface and realize you've been heavily hallucinating for a good long while now from your negative trait. And all the blue limbs go away. You're not at the door, actually. You're in the trash pile. Your vision rearranges. You're back in the right place into the room. You succeeded the check. But you do feel that something is hooked onto the back of your jacket and is actually pulling your once mostly comatose, panicking body into the trash pile.
Keep her in.
Uh-huh.
Is there a way for me to identify that with more analysis? Maybe 5 points of analysis, just flat 5 to see what this is, and I'll say 5 analysis, 5 instinct to see if this is a threat to me. So that'd be 9 analysis, 3 instinct.
Even with 3 instincts, this is definitely a threat to you.
Okay.
And as you look back, it starts pulling you faster, and you see that it's this metal hook. At some point, you did actually get the candle to light, so there is a little bit of light in the room.
Okay.
Let me put that down. There is a little bit of light in the room. Right? Yeah, like that. As you're getting pulled in, you see this black iron hook is dragging you in, and you hear a little bit of these sounds that you're hearing from the other door too, kind of like a metal clinking sound, a little bit of like a dripping sound, a little repetitive motion.
Does it seems like a sentient thing?
You have no idea. Well, it's easy to assume that, but you don't have any real idea.
Unsure. I'm gonna try to unhook myself. Probably putting in 5 points to finesse, and then the other 5 to strength. So that'll be 6 finesse, 4 strength. Just to unhook myself, see if I could get distance away.
6 finesse, 4 strength.
Yeah. See if I could examine what's fully happening, because it feels wrong to act on instinct here. It's against my code.
That's fair. So you reach back, or you're just trying to unhook yourself any way that you can, right?
Yeah, unhook myself, see if I could make distance.
You reach back and grab this hook, and you're barely able to get it off. As it feels you struggling, it starts pulling you in faster. It's kind of jolting too now. Instead of like a nice smooth, calm pull, slow and deliberate, it's now kind of switching gears and pulling you in. But you're able to wildly unhook yourself, kind of like it's almost like getting a cat claw out of a shirt. So you're able to kind of like pull it up and off, right? Because you got the straight jacket's a little baggy, right?
Yeah.
And then roll forward. You haven't moved yet, so you're still right there. But as soon as you're off, it gets sucked back into the trash pile, and the trash pile vibrates a little bit as it pulls in. You hear a big clang, but nothing else. No other movement.
I think at this point again, I feel safer on the wall. See if I could going back along the wall, thinking the time to like feeling safe, higher than everybody. Mm-hmm. With the little light of the candle, if that's still burning, if you could then look for another exit, since the last 2 were delusions.
Sure. As you pick up the candle, when you found the doors, they're still there. You just haven't actually gone to them yet.
Okay. I was still tripping out the whole time.
Yeah, you can't see the whole room. By the edge, your light kind of pierces out to a little bit more than halfway through the room. So when you're up on the edge, you can see about this far. So most of the trash pile is visible to you from here. Okay.
Is there anything that looks particularly out of place, or anything that like let me rephrase that. I'd like to just inquire a little bit. I'll put, just to learn, maybe a little bit more analysis, 3 analysis, 3 focus. And, he doesn't normally do this, but he'll put 4 in instinct. That'll be 7 analysis, 6 focus, and 1 instinct. To see, like, get a read of the room if there's any immediate danger, which there probably... He imagined the hook dude, what the hook was a danger, but if it's possible to
see
get him from where he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you look, you find that the room doesn't really contain much else, but you notice how with your high analysis, you have a 9 in analysis right now, right? Or is it 8?
I think that's 8.
8. Yeah, with your high analysis, you notice how the trash pile is slumped over to this side. It's not straight under the chute like you'd expect. And on top of that, you notice coming from the trash chute, these lines going in. And as you look, you're almost certain that this is all a part of the same thing that tried to grab you. And it's hidden itself like a decorator crab under all of the trash. You see similar hooked appendages all out to the sides. 8 of them in total. There are little joints kind of sticking up above the edges of the trash. You do see that they're gears and stuff. There are definitely other mechanical pieces. But there's definitely one large thing in this room. It still hasn't moved
getting
yet.
on the wall. After getting on the wall, does it seem to be reaching for me again, or does it like seem to have given up?
It seems like it's given up. It's not being super aggressive. It's not, you know, diving for you in any way.
I think after doing this, it's not bothering me anymore. I don't care about it. It's not a danger to me anymore. Trash. It's what it belongs to be. What it deserves to be.
It is trash. It deserves to be trash.
Yeah, not anything important. It's not worth my time, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Still thinking if anything else was heard from the banging of the candle and whatnot. I think I'll try again going to the right door again.
This one?
With the same check. Not the same check. I'd like to vibe check this one again.
Yeah.
Let's say 5 instinct, 5 instinct, 2 focus. How much is there left? And then 3 in awareness. Be 3 awareness, 5 focus, 3 instinct.
Okay. So definitely a much better vibe check this time. As you kind of come up, you sense that it's your instinct, it just gives you this little hint of danger. It's not too big, but it's definitely not nearly as much as the room you're currently in. And the awareness, you actually pick up on much more specific sounds coming from the other side. It sounds like a rather familiar sound of machinery. So first thought coming to mind, because of your +4 analysis, is maybe some kind of a boiler room, considering that you're still under an institution.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you would immediately go in the boiler room because when this thing isn't in there, even though it's not dangerous, it's still not pleasant to be around. It just has to. Its vibes are not it.
Its vibes are not immaculate. No.
Its vibes are not immaculate. I think the boiler room has better vibes. I think also it'll be easier to. What's the word? Easier to like get your bearings.
Yeah.
MS Paint. Let's go. Oh.
It's not doing the thing. A Sprite is better. Official
Control
opinion.
A delete. I think you could just do Control A to just clear the thing.
Nah, I don't really. I wanted to move it, but I can just delete it. Hey, DB's here. I need to not look at chat. I need to not think. Ah, shit. At some point.
Oh no, you Control A.
It filled purple. But that's fine. So the next room. There we go. Don't do that. Paint is definitely a weird program. Okay, there we go. So the next room, as you come up, there's a little bit of this hallway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the noise immediately gets louder as you go in. It's unlocked. And as you move in, you notice on kind of on the side walls, there's these channels. You kind of walk around in the ground. And eventually you do move into what is a large furnace at the very least. The room's a little bit clearer. You have a little bit of moonlight coming from some basement windows. And you see this large machine here. Now, you're familiar with machinery with your background, right? And you have a +4 analysis. So I'll tell you that there's a much more round machine here. Now this is an incinerator and also potentially furnace, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a little funky little guy here. This is the boiler. And this being multiple times larger, you have no idea what the fuck it is.
Oh.
You have absolutely no idea what the fuck this does yet.
Going into the boiler room, is it lit already, or is there a light mechanism?
It is lit by the dimmest little bit of moonlight, kind of shining through a couple windows, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's enough light for me.
Yeah, it's enough, right? So this light goes out to maybe like here in the room, right? Like it illuminates the side pretty well, and this side is mostly illuminated by your candle, right?
Okay. So I know the incinerator and I know the boiler, but there's this hunk of metal.
It's very large, yeah. And it's got a lot of pieces that seem to be intended to move. Pistons, hydraulics, other things like that. It's not really doing anything. There is sound coming from inside of it, but nothing seems to be moving. And most of the sound is coming from the boiler. The incinerator is, dead cold.
Okay. Out of curiosity, I think he would just try to find out what this is. I think 5 analysis, 5 awareness, just like check, is this thing something that's useful to me?
Sure. What are your final scores for that?
That'll be 9 analysis, 5 awareness.
So the awareness does pick you up on a little bit more of the details, and it gives a good basis for your analysis, which is quite a bit. As you look, you see that this is some kind of manufacturing something. You can see that there's definitely a conveyor belt that moves through it. Right, there's definitely something moving from one end to the other. And there's lots of different steps on it. It's almost entirely contained. And as you're looking into this, you notice that the sound coming from inside of it is definitely from a thing in there moving around. Maybe a rat or something. It'd be about that size. But nothing really else. The machine is generally off. You can see that it is definitely a powerful machine. Like could easily use steel and other heavy components in whatever it's fabricating. But it's also kind of weird because the conveyor belt goes into the wall, right? So you're definitely missing pieces of the puzzle.
Idea. Like, I don't know what it's making.
Yeah, you're not really sure. There is a small tray at the end, right? So the tray where the finished product goes is rather small. It could fit you if you curled up, right? But as a Vi, you're very short. So something that size, and it's a lot of machinery to make something like that. So it definitely stands out to you as a little bit strange. And the fact that this is not the only part of this production line, that something comes in from somewhere else.
If possible, I'd like to inspect a little bit what the final product is. If the tray is there, is there anything in the tray?
There's nothing in the tray exactly. As you bring your candle over with your high analysis and awareness, you see that there is this dried, it's kind of like a rust. It's a little bit oily. You know how oil can be a bit red? Kind of that dirty red. It's got a little bit of that color to it. So, do you touch it? I should clarify. Are you going all ham, or are you just peeping with your eyes?
I think he would look with eyes first, and if there's no definite answer, he would definitely touch.
Okay. as you touch, it's definitely dried oil, right? Oil that's been there for a really long time. Not dried from sitting, but more dry from, like, it's been sucked up by metal filings and rust deposits. So it looks like there was something that was sitting here for a long time. It's no longer sitting there. As you look at the machine closer, like at this end, you definitely can tell there is a little bit of rusting. There is a little bit of corrosion, and it's definitely all covered in a layer of soot, which is to be expected from the incinerator.
Yeah.
Looking inside, you see that it goes in, but you lose sight of whatever's farther inside.
Okay. Further from that, I'd like to take some time to look at the incinerator. Is there anything? I'd like to inspect the incinerator. Is the incinerator's on, or is it the incinerator's off right
it's dead cold. Yeah, it's just ashes.
Just ashes. Is there anything that would be? Is there like coal or anything nearby for the incinerator?
No. So
Oh,
it makes you assume that there's some other kind of fuel that they can turn on that's probably installed somewhere internally in the incinerator, or they bring stuff in.
gotcha. From here, this just seems it's like a dead room. Like there's not dead room, dead end room. Like there's nothing, no other doors from here.
Yeah, it's a dead end room. You have those windows. They aren't like barred or anything. But
from the window, the windows they see like ground level, or does it show like I'm under ground, like it's?
They're ground. They're like a basement window. Yeah, so like it's street level is where those windows are at the top of the building.
Does it seem like I could climb up there or through them?
Yeah,
like
definitely,
that,
definitely you with climbing hooves. You could climb up there. They're pretty small, but you're pretty small. If you wanted to try.
Small. Yeah, I'd like to escape with that. How do I do that? Maybe it's 6 finesse, 2 awareness, and 6 finesse. I'll just do it straight. 6 finesse, 4 endurance, 2 endurance, and 7 finesse. Just to get through, squeeze myself through the window.
2 endurance, 7 finesse. So as you get up to this window, right, like these windows at the top of this place, as you're climbing over the edge, you can tell immediately a couple things. They're not gonna fit your horns, and because they're very small, and they might not even fit your shoulders, right? And the second thing is that they are fixed. So if you're gonna go through here, you're gonna have to break them, and you're gonna be crawling through broken glass.
Who would have thought they'd make it hard to escape an insane asylum?
Who would have thought? Though, to be fair,
Who would have thought?
Theoretically, this is a trash room. This is just an industrial room.
Yeah. Just to get all the bearings, I think I would go back to the main room, the trash room, and see check the other door, see if there's an easier way, because I'm not one to exert myself. That's for stupid people.
Sure.
And Seka is not a stupid person.
So, going back to the trash room.
Yes.
What is your awareness?
My awareness is 0.
Average. Okay.
Yes.
So, as you turn around in the light, it's not super easy to see, but because you found and picked up that candle, there is one long metallic arm with a little hook at the end, all the way down the hallway. Slowly, smoothly reaching out towards you.
Do I recognize this as the
You
thing that was?
absolutely do.
Oh no, terrible. Uh, well, first things first. I definitely am gonna move away from it.
Do you move
Uh,
around it towards the trash room door, or are you going
I'm moving
back
deeper
further?
into the room.
I see. So you're going back further into the room.
Yeah, making space first.
Okay, you back up. It's moving very steadily. Maybe an inch every 30 seconds. Very slow.
Oh, I have time then.
Yeah.
Uh, he's definitely gonna be curious about it. I think he's gonna move close and try to like jolt or like not annoy, but like
Poke it.
try to poke at it, just like
Aggravate it.
yeah, see what it's gonna do if it's gonna do anything off that. But
Do you grab it with your
definitely,
hand?
yeah, see if it's gonna try to pull me, and if it does, let go.
As you reach out and grab, it stops moving. But for right now, it's just frozen. Entirely unmoving. Just dead stop as soon as your skin contacts it. Instantly frozen.
I think next, if anything, is just gonna try to like push it back and walk with it, kind of like walk it out the room by pushing at it.
Okay.
Does it give, or like is it frozen like stuck there, like it will not move anywhere else?
You push, and there's some resistance there's a little hint of resistance that you can pick up with your focus, with your high focus, and then it very quickly relents and just loosens, right? And you can just push it back as if it's a like a kitchen drawer with shocks on it. You can just push it back with you as you walk.
Hmm. Can I walk with it back to the trash room and then get on the walls again?
Sure. As you walk out with this in hand,
Does the trash seem to be displaced in a vastly different way that like I would surely recognize?
well, there's one thing before you can get back to the trash, the good old trash heap.
A safe, but not a safe room.
Your candle comes across 2, 3, 4, and 5 large, vaguely glowing eyes sitting at the end of the doorway. And these sharp, jagged, you would call it a mouth, but it's a series of appendages that have kind of formed into a circle. Almost like teeth, like little hands waiting for you. With this, of course, the long hook arm.
Is the determine that this is part of the hook, or is this
It's definitely the same
another?
metal.
It's the same metal. I think seeing this full on, does the maw of this thing seem to be like trying to reach me, or is it waiting for me to enter the room?
It's definitely waiting.
I think getting as good of a look right now. I'd like to try to analyze it better, see what it is with just like all 10 points analysis or 14 analysis, just like what is this? If I know what it is.
Okay. So you recognize some kind of haphazard but definite craftsmanship in this, and you see in it the intent of killing, of collecting, really. If you were going to make something like this, you would definitely make it this way. It is geared entirely to guaranteeing the capture of a single thing. Everything that you can see points to that, and all of the mechanisms seem to do so. As well, in 14 analysis, you see that it is made of very basic and simple parts. That whatever's controlling it must be complicated and magical in some nature, but the basic parts are very simple. It's small glass, probably bottles for the eyes. It's these long pieces of iron that seem to be haphazard and used for several other things, all glinting off of the light of your candle.
Does it seem well put together, or does it seem like something that, like, if I tried hard enough, I could, like, pull it apart?
You could definitely take it apart, but you couldn't rip it apart. Like, you could there's a simple connections with bolts and screws, but it's not weak, if that makes sense.
Okay. I'd like to take a few steps back, see if the hook is going to reach out again, or like, if I keep eye contact, does it like, is it further trying to give chase with the limbs?
So you take a couple steps back. Do you let go of the arm?
I think, yeah, he would let go and be ready to dash if, like, it jolts for him.
You let go, and the arm stops, and nothing happens. It's completely motionless, as if it had been sitting there like that the entire time, as if it had never moved. Almost beyond waiting.
I definitely see this as a threat to me. Like, this is bad juju. Not good vibes. It fails the vibe check.
I'm sorry, are you saying that this fails the vibe check? How could you?
I'm sorry. It could never work between us. I think here I'm gonna go to my utility belt and take out. God, this is the best part. I'm gonna take out my life, ice, earth, thing that activates on shatter.
Yes.
And I'm gonna try to toss it in the maw of this creature.
Life, ice, earth.
So let me get ready to reduce my HP to 0. Or my MP.
Yes, your MP is gonna have to go down. By the way, this is for everyone watching. This is a specific way to use magic through alchemy.
Yeah, I'm not scientist. It's so cool.
You said it was.
What's my MP at? Life, ice, earth.
Ice, earth. I believe.
I gotta remove that from my inventory too.
Yeah,
I'll do that first. Life, ice, earth, on shatter.
So
goodbye, Comic Sans.
Goodbye, Comic Sans. You throw it, you lose 4 MP.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. Let me make that space my inventory first. Inventory upkeep is important. 4 MP, you say?
Do you hit it with these tendrils? With this potion? A little bit of a spoiler there.
I'm gonna try to hit it. Like, if I could hit it in the maw, like if I could throw it in the maw, if it's like there's a tube going, if it's just hit, I'm gonna try to hit it like in its mouth area.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta write
Enormous,
down what this does. uh,
enormous tendrils of black ice sprout from where the potion has landed. And you can feel them immediately linked to your own brain.
let's go.
This does not react to the potion being thrown, but you can grab onto things with these two tendrils as if they were your own arms, right? They're all your own limbs at +3 power. And it's directly under the mechanisms of this beast. By the way, as the potion flew out of sight and landed, as it arced into the maw,
Yes.
it just passed through. And you get the sense that there isn't so much of a body as there is a lattice work of things, but you can't really confirm that. But it does land on the ground. You can tell that from the spell going off.
Okay. And what's it called? I know that this is like the parts of this is corporeal.
Yes.
I'm gonna try with my tentacle arms, with my mind arms, to try and like pull at it, see if there's any weak points in the infrastructure, see if I could essentially disarm it and make it like a non-threat.
Sure.
I feel like I want to do that with
You are going to have to put in
5.
action points. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 analysis, and the arms are +3
+3.
to strength.
Mm-hmm.
I think 5. I don't need damage analysis. I'll put 3 analysis, 5 strength, and 2 finesse. Does that map out? Does that map out?
5 analysis. 3.
5 analysis.
3 finesse, 2 strength, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's 10.
Okay, so analysis is +4, finesse is +1, strength is -1.
No, but you get +3.
Oh, well, so it's nets out to +2.
+2, yes.
What's that math? Dear
So
God.
it's 9, 4, 4. 9, 4, 4 is
Yeah.
a current check. So you reach up and you definitely grab something. And as you do, you pull down and you see bits. You pull down on this spike and this eye, like you grab something that's connected to all 3 of them, and they all move in this downward motion as you're pulling on strings, basically these big metal strings. As you pull them down, you see it shiver and convulse and quake and react. You see it panic, but you don't hear a single sound. And as you do, the claw suddenly starts clunking as it rushes back underneath you, trying to hook you, and you get a reaction. And being that you have average awareness, you can move up to 5 of your points. As this claw is rushing, trying to grab onto something.
I think there I would put. I said how much finesse? I said 5 finesse, right? Did I put 5?
You put 2, 3 into finesse.
3 finesse. No, 3. I'd like to move my analysis to my finesse to like see if I could dodge or get out the way while still pulling it back.
Sure. You put all 5 points into finesse, so you're sitting at 9 finesse because you have a +1, right?
Yes.
You get the 9 finesse, and you dodge out of the way as the claw's going in, and you get well out of the way, but if you didn't do that, it might have hooked you, and it rushes its arm back in, and you can feel your tendrils. Other of these hooks start attacking your tendrils and hooking into them. but you are pulling back a little bit.
How much control do I have of these arms? Does it? I don't know. I feel like I worded that incorrectly. How linked am I to these arms? Like, do I feel what the arms feel or stuff like that?
Absolutely, yeah. It's as if you have another limb.
Okay. I like to like feel around for not weak spot, points of weakness, or like joints, points that like I know are normally not the strongest. See if I could cripple whatever this thing is before.
It does. So you're looking for wires to pull at, basically.
Wires to pull at, joints to lock, or stop from moving. And
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do that with I think this time it'll be like full strength, pulling it back, pulling it down, getting it out. So that'd be all 10 points of strength. Just getting this piece of trash away from me.
Okay. You definitely succeed at pulling. Both tentacles reach around it, pull down. It yanks the whole thing backwards. Terrifying enough, you hear the sound of your tentacles, the black ice around this metal structure, and the occasional groans and creaks of the metal structure, but this entire scuffle is almost entirely silent. But you can feel it from the tentacles. And as you pull it in, you're entirely focused on pulling, so you don't find any weak points, but you have kind of dragged it in more into the room, and it's now entirely trying to fight your tentacles.
Now that so I pulled it closer to me, right?
Did you want to pull it closer away or farther away?
Closer. Like I want to get a better. Essentially, I want to like get it closer to see what.
Closer to the doorway?
If I could, yeah, if I could like not get it trapped, but like get it in a bad spot, as well as getting it closer to see if there's any things that would
stand out.
anything that would like words are hard.
As you pull it in, it comes up to the doorway. It's a little bit harder because where the potion landed, you're kind of having to like push it in.
Push it a little bit.
But with 12 points in strength, and the leverage that you have, it's enough. This thing is not very strong. It's having a hard time pull away at these tendrils. There is some significant force, though. You see all of these different teeth that you realize are now just other hook arms that had come together. It definitely is this big spindle. And at the center that you've kind of pulled in and kind of grabbed around, there is definitely some kind of core to it that all the other pieces are attached to.
Like, I could see this as a thing. Would I be able to reach at it, or how vulnerable, how fragile? Can I inspect to see how fragile it is?
Sure. Yeah, if you want to take a poke.
Yeah, I'd like to check again with 3 focus, 3 analysis, and then I'll keep the rest at strength to like make sure it's not gonna make any lunges, like kind of like have it on a leash by its.
Right, you're not trying to hold it too much, but you are.
Yeah, I don't want to give it. Yeah.
Try keep it down.
So that would be. That'd be 3 strength, and then I said for that. Yes, that'd be 3 strength, 7 analysis, 6 focus.
Okay.
I want to see like would hitting this thing, not deactivate, but like cripple it to
do something to it.
Yeah.
Maybe. You can see some weaknesses. It's not entirely it's like it's got some metal stratus around it, but there's something vulnerable inside, definitely. But with the reduced points in strength, it's not able to get away from you. You did succeed in that much, but it is able to move around a lot, and it pulls out of the way of your very small candlelight. And so you get a decent glimpse of it, and you have enough analysis to kind of know that you could maybe do something, but you're still not entirely sure what it's made of.
Uh, so I no longer do I still have some vision of it or no vision of it?
Very little vision of a few pieces.
Yeah.
Pretty much none right now.
But I still feel for them.
You still can feel it.
For
Yeah, you can still feel it.
would it be possible to like grip one of the dark ice arms around that part, or would I
Yeah.
need a lot? I would like to do that with. I'm gonna move a little bit in my soul with 4 instinct, 4 strength, and 2 finesse. So I think
Okay.
that's 3 finesse, 3 strength, and 1 instinct.
3 finesse.
But I could, yeah.
Does that include the +2 you have from strength?
Yes, my strength is -1. Oh wait, so it'll be. Oh no, I did that.
It's
completely
+2
wrong.
total.
Yeah, so it's 5 strength.
Hell yeah. So you
I like
move
to just like grip at the.
at the thing.
I don't want to call it. Yeah, at
The core.
The thingamabob. Yeah, at the doohickey.
You feel the tentacles move around the pieces of metal and kind of get stuck in some areas as you're fighting it at the same time. But the 5 strength is enough, which is half the strength of an average person, right? This thing is definitely not very strong.
Yes.
And as you pull in, you reach around that core, and you do find it. Do you begin to press on that core, or are you just grabbing it? You're trying to rip it out?
I think press at. I think it's mostly press at it. Feel for the wires that are around it, if there are any. Try to like pull them apart.
Okay. You start fucking up this core. You pull, you crush, you start breaking off wires. There's some hydraulics to it. You hear the familiar spray of a hydraulics tube popping, the liquid passing everywhere. And you hear a clunk, a thud, and then metal kind of like landing to the floor as you have pulled off this core entirely.
Oh, so I feel like the core's in my hand, right?
Yes.
I think from just feeling it, like from just the sense of touch, how much could I pick up from the core?
From the core?
Yeah.
It seems like it has some metal lattice on the outside and something a little bit more complicated on the inside. But you can't quite
and the
tell
metal lattice,
more.
Yeah. Am I able to move where the hands are, or are they planted where the potion hit?
No, the tendrils are planted where the potion hit.
You love to have alchemy potions. But I think at this point, if I could somehow break through the metal with my hands, does that seem feasible? Or is this like steel, like I'm not getting through this anytime soon?
It's pretty fucked up. So it's probably fine to kind of pull back with your hands.
I think having the core in my hand, or thinking this is the core. No, he definitely thinks this is the core. He thinks he beat it. He would walk around. He would start walking towards the exit with the candle, seeing like how it looks now with the core no longer protected. I don't want to call it protected, but yeah. How is this thing looking?
So it's in a pile on the ground.
It looks like it is deactivated. I don't know if deactivated is the word.
Off? Yeah.
Yeah.
In general, yeah.
I think after this, you said before the eyes were bottles? Or things like bottles?
There are definitely some glass bits of some kind you can see.
Uh,
It's kind of
so
lying
then,
in a mangled heap on the ground, kind of hydraulic fuel sprawled out everywhere.
oh, you gotta love that smell.
God love that smell.
You gotta love that smell. Uh, I think just because of his asshole demeanor. Yeah, he's definitely gonna like break a bottle or something. Just like step on it, just to feel better about himself. He's gonna break a bottle and then
Just
walk past it.
kick it a little bit. Yeah, it
Yeah, just
breaks. It's definitely old glass.
does it seem good enough that like if I had them, I think he'll break a glass and then inspect another one just to see if pocket it. You can never know when you need to throw glass at somebody.
As you rip it off, there is something wet inside of the bottle.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna try to find out what that is if I can.
Yeah.
With 3 analysis, 3 focus, and I think that's all he's gonna. He's not trying too hard. He thinks this is defeated. He's just gonna say like, "What is this?" So that's 7 analysis, 6 focus. What's this liquid if I know what it is?
So there's definitely some thick liquid. It smells like embalming fluid. And as you look at it, the shape is a little bit weird. So it's kind of wide. It's more like a beaker or a flask, right?
Oh, something I'm familiar with.
Yeah, but it's not quite that. It seems like it was maybe a discount version, something like that. It's kind of that shape.
The Dollar Tree glass, yeah.
But inside you see all these shapes, right, bundled up at the end with these long cords, all kind of come to a center. All wrapped up. And as you look at the bottom, you realize that it's a bunch of different kinds of eyes. Human vi,
like
morcar,
eyeballs?
squid,
Oh,
rat, all
that is
bundled up by the nerves.
not pleasant.
Attached to wires on the end of the arm that was connected to it. And looking back at the other one that you crushed, definitely had more of the same.
There's just eyeballs on the floor now.
Yep, there's just eyeballs on the floor. That sounds like a very metal album.
That's cool. The hooks, they just look like hooks.
They just look like hooks. Just
Oh,
regular,
fine.
just regular metal hooks.
Okay. I think after that I'll start moving to the other room. I think I'm done with this thing. I might keep the vial though. That seems like it might be fun.
The bottle of eyes.
Yeah, I'll put the bottle of eyes down.
Sure. So you keep moving on. Do you go to the core, I assume?
I will keep the core.
So, you find the
Can I
core.
push the core a little bit? Like, see what it be?
Yeah, as you look around it in your candlelight, you see that there are kind of metal pieces around it. So it's a little bit of a D20. You know, it's a little bit of the gold dodecahedron kind of shape. But as you look at it, you realize it's not quite round even. It doesn't quite fit like a good satisfying geometric design. It's a little all over the place. And in the center is a number of dark red hearts kind of stitched together.
Like an amalgamation of different hearts?
Yes.
Does there seem to be blood that's leaking in the core, or does it seem like the heart is still pumping?
No, it's been crushed. Your tentacle has crushed one side, and it's fucked up the hearts on the inside.
Oh.
And you can see all the different wires moving out from the core. But now that you're actually in the machine, you notice that on any one piece of lattice work, you see all these like towards the core, towards the center here. you see all these tiny little arms with little hooks on the end, very similar to the bigger ones. But
Kind of like hairs on a spider leg?
Kind of like hairs on a spider leg, but they can definitely move independently on their own.
Oh, love that.
All these little pieces closer to the center. Very delicate compared to the rest
Do they
of this
seem to be still moving, or does it all seem like immobile now?
It's pretty immobile. Pretty simple joints.
Yeah. I will keep a mental note of that. And I think now I'd move to the other room. I think I'm done with this.
Yeah. Do you take the core with you? No?
I will hold the core. I will take the core and a bottle of eyes. Those two things seem important to me.
Sure. So as you move to the other room, it is not full of teeth. Fun fact.
Oh, I was gonna feed it some eyeballs.
You're gonna feed.
I was gonna feed it some eyeballs.
The teeth hallway deserves a snack too.
Yeah.
A little of salami for the hallway of teeth.
Really just hungry. I can understand it. I get like that too when I'm hungry.
Full of teeth? Same.
Yeah.
We all get full of teeth when we're hungry. So this next hallway goes out, and as you're walking, you're very glad you have a high analysis, because the room kind of curves. And by the way, you don't have too much longer in that candle, right?
Okay.
So you're gonna need to look for something else. But as you make your way through this hallway, there's all these different slots in the walls, and you see other hooks of the same design sticking out of almost little arrow slits in the hallway, reaching. How are you going to get around these?
These seem activated and like are an actual thing.
Oh yeah, these are moving ever so slightly in and out of the space. Like they're fishing.
Oh. That is. I'd like to just check with like do an alt analysis. Like, do they seem to be like looking for intruders or just looking for anything specific?
Anything that's moving. Some of them are low, some of them are high. Moving through the space in a simple, methodical pattern.
Oh, done. So this man's gonna test some stuff out. I think he's gonna move to the closest one. The one that seems like it's in the least danger. And just like poke at it, prod at it, tickle it a little bit, see like if it's gonna jolt back or if it's just gonna stay there waiting for something.
As soon as you touch one, do you poke out and touch it with your hand or like with a stick?
I think he's definitely gonna touch with a hand because you remember before they didn't really react to anything besides.
I think it's touch of flesh.
Yeah, I think it's gonna like touch it with a hand and like pull back, see if it like reacts to that or. Yeah.
What is your finesse modifier?
+1.
You reach out and touch with your hand. And as you do, it immediately pulls back much faster and harder than the one you just dealt with. And as it does, it catches your hand a little bit and cuts across it, and you take 1 damage. It's incredibly painful. It's cut all the way up your palm from like the base of it.
Oh yeah, that definitely hurts.
Between kind of your ring and middle finger. But it's gone into the wall now.
Learning from that, I think he's gonna try to make his way through the room slowly by trying to poke at the not with the same hand. I think this time he's like, ow, pain's bad. I think he's gonna get like something with distance to like poke, hit at, like slap the hand, see if they move or react with anything. If you could find a stick or something in the trash, a metal rod, just to poke or slap with.
You know what's kind of ironic? The best stick is breaking off one of the hooks
That
of
arm.
the thing.
I
Yeah,
was
the arm.
thinking that. I think he would do that. He would roll back and like, wait, maybe they react to each other, and just take one and slap it.
Just fucking slap the boy.
Yeah, slap the arm, see if it'll pull back. See if I can interlock the hook, see if that does anything.
So as you slap them, they do kind of try to reach out around them and pull back in the same motion. Nothing as you're going seems to react in a particular way. But as they pull back, they do kind of start to come back a little bit.
But like, how long would it take for them to come back? Because I think she would slowly move down the hallway, activating in like parentheses, or like triggering the hands, making his way through the hall.
It takes maybe 30 seconds, a minute for them to come back. Okay. It's a good amount of time. Kind of.
I think he's gonna like make way, slap, move on, slap, move on.
You find descending down the end of this hallway. It kind of creeps around a little bit. It almost feels like you're moving through a pipe. It's kind of hard to describe. The walls are not rounded, but the way that it bends feels weird for a hallway.
It doesn't seem natural. Like good infrastructure.
It seems like poor planning. Yeah. As you get to the end.
At the end of the hallway, yeah, is there like a door or anything, or is it like just an open tube?
You find a ramp going down.
I'd love to see that.
Love to see that.
I'd love to see a ramp going down.
It's pretty steep too. You're gonna have to take it like it's a ladder.
Even with the climbing hooves, I can't like.
Actually, with the climbing hooves, you're totally fine. Actually.
Yeah.
You're much better than other kin, but it's almost a ladder going down.
The main question: if I were chased, would it impair me to move up?
On these stairs, I would say no, with your climbing hooves. Other people, I would say their climbing speed, but because you have the climbing hooves and it's actual steps, I would say it would not.
I think he would slowly make his way down. Maybe. I think he's gonna check. He's definitely gonna like not just go down knowing it's nothing. I think he's gonna go down 5 focus, seeing what's there. Maybe 2 analysis. I have 9. I gotta remember that. Yeah, 5 focus, 4 analysis. See if there's anything at the bottom there. See if anything in this room or like anything makes sense to be there. Like I knew the other room was a boiler room.
Yeah.
Do I know what this is, or where this is leading, if anything?
You're really not entirely sure. But as it goes down deeper, you can hear the sound of water dripping. And you notice with your high analysis and focus. It was analysis and focus, right? Or was it analysis and awareness?
Analysis and focus.
You see that there are claw marks on this set of stairs. Where things have attempted to climb but slipped off. Leaving gouges in them. And at the bottom, you hear the sound of moving water. Subtle, but it's there.
Love that. If I hold like a can or something, can I see at the bottom, or is it just like I just hear the water?
You just hear the water. It goes out for a little bit, but it doesn't quite get anywhere, right? So it's pretty bright up here at the top, and then it very quickly cuts out around there.
I should ask you, because I'm not one to enjoy being in this area. Is there like exits, windows in this hallway?
Definitely not. Unless you count the arrow slits with the little hook boys coming out of them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna count that.
You're not gonna try to
that one.
Squeeze in there with those.
Yeah, say hi, feed them some eyeballs.
Have a good time.
Yeah. Am I bleeding from my palm?
You are. It's not super serious. It's definitely not something that you would probably want to leave unattended. In such a dirty place like this. It's not like you're losing AP from it though.
Yeah. I'll just keep it on track, and I guess nothing too but to do. He's gonna slowly move down. He's gonna see what's in that water.
Okay. Because you have the climbing hooves, you're able to look forward as you climb. You do not have to turn your back to everything as you make your way down.
Lovely to hear. I also like to use 5 focus, see if anything seems to be lurking in the marks on the wall, see if that's like a point for attack.
Okay. So you make your way down slowly.
Does it seem like there's anything there or anything there and if there is, does it look like it might be able to hit me from those marks?
No, as you're looking at the wall as you go down, you see like these marks in the walls, but they're very much just scratches from something.
Oh, not like dents or like cuts in.
They're not alcoves.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
They're not like slits or anything. Okay.
No, they kind of look like they could have been, but on inspection as you go down, you're fine. As you reach the bottom, you find that your candle is just about running out, but you're finding more trash here. At the very bottom, you see that it's this large area of a kind of Midland level of trash, right?
Okay.
All around you.
With the little light do I have, do I see anything that is flammable or that could be used as a makeshift torch? I think I should search for that.
Probably that would definitely help.
Yeah. I think no, that's a bad idea. I was gonna fully focus on only looking at it now. I think it's gonna be 4 focus, looking for that, and 4 focus, 2 analysis, 6, and then 3 awareness, making sure nothing's gonna sneak up on me.
Okay. So specifically with the intent of keeping yourself from getting snuck up on.
Yeah, I don't want to be ambushed by anything. So that's, I said 4 through 3. No, 3 through 3. Because 9. So that's 7 analysis, 6 focus, and 3 awareness.
Okay. As you're looking around, you find one that there's a split in the tunnel, and you're kind of in a sewer now.
Okay.
You see the trash is kind of mounded up on the walls, and it almost makes a little bit of a curve in a way on the sides here. But in the trash themselves, there's plenty of oil, alcohol. This seems just to be the city's trash almost.
Any cloth or anything?
Yes, there's plenty of cloth. There's plenty of things like that. It's totally fine.
Oh, is there anything around that I could wrap cloth around something, douse it in oil, make a light while I still have some light on the candle, make sure I'm not in darkness?
Sure. You want just find a stick or something like that? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, find a stick, just metal, because I think you could just light cloth and wrap it around the metal.
Yeah.
But if there's a stick, that works even better.
Sure. So you do definitely find a piece of metal. You could also use the hook from before if you wanted to. That would definitely be the most
Now, I do have this,
viable piece. Yeah, you don't have to,
Yeah.
though.
I like my arms. If I could get a stick, I'd get a stick. I've grown attached to this arm.
Okay. You find something. It's not quite as good as your arm.
I don't think it'll ever be as good as this arm.
But you find something that works plenty fine, right?
Yeah. Just have like enough for a makeshift torch.
Yeah, just enough for makeshift torch. And you wrap it around, and you get much brighter lighting from your candle.
Also, if possible, would I be able? Oh, what's happening here? Would I be able to like get excess in case I need to make another one where I could use the arm? Would there be excess cloth, excess oil, alcohol?
Yeah, definitely.
Because that feels like she'd be smart enough to prepare for this. She's like, I don't know what's here. Knowledge is power. Light gives knowledge.
Right. So you pick those up, you light it. You can see the tunnels kind of go down for a ways from here, and you see the field of trash in front of you. Which way do you go? Do you want to go from the left or the right?
I think this calls for another vibe check.
Sure.
I'll do 5 analysis. No. 2 analysis. 3 awareness. I'm just at 2 plus 3 is 5, and then 5 instinct. So that's 3 instinct, 3 awareness, and 6 analysis. Checking which of the paths would have better vibes to it.
So as you look, there are 2 main things that you notice. The one to your right is a lot more messy. The walls are much more fucked up. It's easier to see. There's something reflective going on here. So your light goes farther. This one seems a lot less touched. That's your biggest thing. Vibe-wise, you feel like this is maybe harder, but might be a little bit less than a gamble. And this one feels like it could be perfect. But if it's not perfect, it's going to be fucking terrible.
Oh. Well, thinking that I already know everything, I'm gonna go with the one that feels perfect. I'll set the left one. The left one is the one with the immaculate vibes.
Yeah. It's,
I think
the possibly immaculate vibes.
I think yeah, I'm going down there. Yep. Spec goes forth with his torch. Feeling safer now that he has an actual torch. Actual in quotations.
You start moving through this pile of trash. This literal pile of trash.
Not garbage.
And you make your way deeper in. Cutting your way through the piles of trash. And the walls around you kind of start to close in, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gets a little bit narrower. The trash gets not quite as deep. You notice that you're walking through water now, more than anything.
Like it seems to be clearing up.
Cleaning up a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything in particular that you're trying to do or not do as you move, or are you just walking?
I know one thing. I'm definitely trying to look to see like sources of light, if there's like grates or anything that like leads light through that could possibly be an exit. While also, I don't think she's not trying to make a lot of noise. He just escaped. He just escaped someplace that he shouldn't have escaped. So if anybody would be looking for him, I think he's going to try to be as silent as possible.
That's fair. Are you gonna put points into that, or is that just a general vibe?
Oh, Yeah. I think 6 points focus, like trying to be as silent as possible, and then 3 points for analysis, looking around, making sure that if there is an exit or possibility of an exit, I would take it. So that's 9 focus, 7 analysis. These are very strong stats. I'm glad I built my character this way.
Specifically for information, which is kind of what you're doing right now. You haven't really
Yeah.
had to fight anything yet. But yeah, you have the information. You haven't had to talk to anybody or fight anything, so you're
Oh, I should
fucking
ask,
golden.
is it possible to like move all these walls, or are they inverted to a point where I can't avoid the water?
They're a half dome. You can get to less water, where it's pretty much just your hooves in the water.
I think that would be part of trying to lessen the sound making.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. And without any points into finesse, you're more focusing on where you're stepping. So in general, you've reduced your sound, but there are occasionally still some loud steps as you don't quite step where you mean to. And as you kind of make your way through, you notice that there's kind of this engine-like sound, like a propeller, like kind of a bumping, rumbling kind of a sound.
It sounds mechanical.
Yeah, it actually sounds kind of familiar to you. It sounds like a regular pyromancy-based engine. So like a generator almost. A magic generator. You've used these before, especially if, you're out in the woods doing something God knows where. Actually, God probably doesn't even know. So you know the sound, but you also know that it's generally used when you can't hook up to the city's power grid. And
is it producing any light or anything? Is it anything that like I can notice it, or is it just I only know it from sound?
You cannot see anything with your torch. With the cloth that you have burning right now that you've kind of just been like adding on to from the trash, you can only see out to the edge of your vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out there along the edge of your torch, everything cuts off. Inside it is fine, right? But outside...
But I hear myself going in the direction of the mechanical whirring and rumbling.
Do you keep your torch lit?
Yeah, I would act. Yeah, Spec keeps that open. He wouldn't imagine anybody wants to hurt him. He's too much of a genius for that.
Oh my god. Fucking Spec. Okay.
He thinks that anybody would help him. Definitely.
He was fucking arrested. Okay, sure. Spec, thanks.
He thinks that it was just... No, he knows he was arrested, but it was unjust.
It was unjust.
It was unjust.
It was corrupt. It was a wrongful... a wrongful arrest, sure, yeah.
He was only furthering knowledge.
He was only furthering the knowledge of the world. So as you move forward, you do kind of see a light from this engine. You see this... You see these red sparks, almost. These flares coming out. In little spots around this machine. And you can't quite see the machine itself. But you can see little spots where tubes and other things have kind of gotten in the way of these big, bright lights and flares, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see it kind of bumping and rumbling along.
With the torch, do I see or do I hear anything moving the water around me or near me?
Ooh, that's a good question. What is your awareness?
My awareness is 0 naturally. So it's 5.
You don't hear anything.
Okay. So to me it seems normal. This seems natural.
Yeah, you don't really know why this is going, but you can definitely tell something is happening here.
um trying to like be a little not stealthy, but like trying to make himself small. Not want to like disrupt anything that is happening after the run-in with that thing, the creature.
Uh-huh.
He'd try to find somewhere where he feels safe, so as close to like a vertical wall as possible. Not vertical, but like close up as well as possible.
Up into a corner.
Yeah, into a corner, trying to like analyze, see if you could see anything of note besides the furnace, or if you could see not furnace, a generator, or if you could see that if anything is directly connected to the generator.
Yeah, do you get into like where your light hits the generator? It's just these very dull red sparks. Okay.
Yeah, he would go to see what the generator. He would go inspect, not inspect the generator, be an eye shot of the generator.
Okay. So you see with your little light.
And how bright are these flares for?
These flares are not very bright. They're just little sparks. So most people wouldn't quite be able to see them, right? You've just been in the dark a while. It's something where
vision, kind of.
Yeah, you shouldn't be too surprised if somebody does see it, but also not too surprised if somebody doesn't see it.
Okay. Yeah.
As you look, you notice that these are not coming from the generator like you first thought.
Oh no.
But in actuality, it's a hand holding the generator. Can't quite tell exactly how these fingers work, but behind it you can see this large arm leading off into the darkness.
It doesn't seem to have seen me.
Yeah, it hasn't seen you.
Does it seem to be made with like the same style as the creature that was first in the trash chute?
Definitely, but it's also definitely a different creature.
Could you give the description one more time?
It's a large hand, and you can't quite tell exactly how the fingers work, but it's wrapped its hand around the generator, and the arm just leads off into darkness. The arm itself, this generator is pretty large, so the arm itself has to be at least 3 or 4 feet across.
And then the arm is the only thing I see. Do I see the arm like have an attachment to something else, like further in the tunnel?
Nope, it's just darkness. All you see is a little bit of arm as it comes up and hits the wrist and hand around the generator.
That's good. I think with all my points into analysis, is this generator helping power this thing, or does it seem like it's trying to stop it from powering?
You have a very high analysis. You have the highest that anyone can naturally go.
Yes.
So with all of your focus into analysis, you notice a few different things. First off, it's not moving. This arm is stationary. It's rumbling from the generator and bouncing, but otherwise it's just not moving.
The arm seems inactive.
Yeah. 2. Oh god. How do I draw 2? 2.
Worked out.
Kind of. We got there a little bit in the end. It hasn't done anything to the generator yet. The generator seems to be in perfectly functioning condition.
Okay.
And 3, its grip on the elevator, not the elevator, the generator, is very sturdy. And you notice all these things only because your analysis is so high. So because of this together, you realize that it is definitely having a positive relationship with the generator, whatever it's doing.
It feels like it's almost protecting it.
Maybe not protecting it. It's definitely not getting in the way of anything. Maybe protecting it in the way that, like, you could sleep with your hand on a necklace when if it brings you comfort. Otherwise, it just has its arm around it for another reason.
I know, Spec. Okay, that's very insightful and very informational. And this thing, it doesn't seem like fully inert. Like, it's not. It doesn't seem. The arm, from what it seems, it doesn't seem like rusted, broken. It seems like it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's taken too much wear from age. Like, it probably has some rust somewhere, but it's not like it's corroding. It's not like it's taken by nature. It's not moving, but it's not clearly broken.
I think you would move a little closer, not wanting to disturb it. I think Spec is curious. Spec is definitely curious. I think he would move closer as long as it doesn't seem dangerous directly. Oh, I should ask this. This generator seems like it was in the tube, or is this a different room with the generator inside, with the arm?
It is a separate room.
What's this room? Is this room also occupied? Because if it's not, he would be climbing on the walls. He's definitely on the wall if it's not.
This next room is not. This next room is a cylinder. So you can definitely climb up the walls here, for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely on the wall. He would definitely feel safer on the wall. And with the higher elevation, does he get to shine more light over the whole scene?
You do. You do indeed get. You just get a better view of the light that you do shine.
Yeah.
But it covers almost entirely this whole room, right? Yeah. So, this arm, I'll mark it in red for the generator, comes in this way. It's holding the generator. It's a giant's hand, right? It's fucking huge.
Yeah. It's definitely something above my weight class.
Yeah, and it looks like it's taking up most of the rest of the hallway, but it is very still. And the sound of water gets louder as it moves down this way. So you know just from context that there's some kind of a hallway.
And there's movement in the hall. Does it sound like water moving or water dripping?
It sounds like water moving. Kind of what you were moving through, but louder.
Okay.
And decently far away, but it definitely sounds like it's coming from that way.
For a question, I mean, for no reason in particular,
Asking for a friend.
Does this makeshift torch create a bright light?
It's pretty bright, yeah.
Important. My friend really enjoys that answer. Just for the back pocket.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think he would move close to like where the new hallway goes, like in the direction of the water moving. And I think he's gonna analyze, he's like split it focus analysis, if I could make out what's happening in the hallway.
Okay, so as you move this way, no, it's not the right color. As you move this way, around the edge of the room, I assume you're kind of like going down and over in the same way. You kind of like analyze in. You see that the arm continues down this hallway, taking up the vast majority of the space. It's weirdly long, proportionally. But you see it moves into a actually kind of lit, it's glowing a little bit room that's very large. This is just based on an estimate of what you'd be able to see. Circular room with a large mass of machine.
Doesn't like this arm is stuck in this room, or if they wanted to, they could pull the arm out.
They could pull the arm out. And you see other lights kind of coming from this mass, as well as somewhere above you see other little spots of light kind of streaming in.
Also, would Spec know how to deactivate the generator if possible?
You've used them before, so I would rule that yes. Yes, you would know.
How would one?
It's pretty simple. It's attached to a pyromancy crystal.
As him taking the crystal takes the power out?
Yeah. That's the
Okay.
simplest way to do it.
If only I didn't use my tentacle arms already.
You've got
I
others.
totally
Who
knew-
knows what
that
they
I
do?
totally knew that they were.
Yeah, you totally knew what that
I
was.
totally knew that was tentacle arms. Oh, but I don't know if I'll get blighted.
You don't. You've used 4.
Yeah. I don't know how expensive the other ones are. I don't know if I don't think you could toss a potion without it shattering.
You could roll it on the ground, maybe. That's not super accurate.
Yeah, I think I would take the air, earth, fire, flask that's activation is exposure to bright light, and try to put it near the hand, and then I have the notebook. I might lit a piece of the notebook on fire and then toss it, like light a page on fire and toss it over. See if I
Okay.
could activate it with that.
You set it down, you move back, throw this little piece of junk. I mean, I'm just gonna say it's junk, scrap
Yeah.
cloth that you've been picking up towards it. And the inside that was kind of a nice light blue turns instantly a chalky gray color. And then that's it.
That's all it does.
That's all it does.
We write that. Oh, definitely. If he feels, I think he feels safe in this room. Nothing bothered him yet. For the first time, the life, earth, ice, and this, he's definitely writing down in his journal. Like he's taking notes on what these do.
I'm glad he is.
Yeah,
On.
he's writing down. It makes it gray.
You lose 3 MP.
God, that's a thing. Does it seem like the magical power of the potion seem no longer useful? Or does it seem like there's still something happening there? Or is it just like...
It looks inert. There's nothing moving in the bottle. You shake it. There's no liquid in there anymore. It is full of this solid, chunky, or chalky gray substance.
What is the combination? I gotta write this down. I think the next best thing he would do is see if he could shatter it by throwing something at it.
Would you throw something at it, or would you pick it up, walk back, and then throw it?
I think that's smart. He would do that.
Okay. So you pick it up, you walk back, and you throw it at the hand, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, no.
it lands on the hand, and it explodes. And in a... 10-foot radius, there's a cloud of ash that lingers.
Kablamo. He definitely wrote down Kablamo in his notebook. He wrote Kablamo.
Sweet. And that cloud of ash is hanging in the air.
Oh no. That gave me a really bad idea. So it's a cloud of ash
Yeah.
that is produced.
Yes.
Did it seem to have affected the generator in any way with the first 10-foot explosion?
Actually, it is a cloud of suffocating ash, so it would stop combustion even if there was a pyromancy crystal. Okay, so I will say, it does cause the generator to start sputtering. And as the generator starts sputtering, you see different fingers of the many-fingered hand, probably maybe 11 fingers of this hand start releasing from the generator and start moving almost like a snake or a centipede away from the generator, looking, probing the environment.
Okay.
Do you go back?
Need you to, I'm definitely moving out of the room, but still invisible to it, kind of. Like, I'm leaving the room, but I'm like standing by like the door, not doorway, but you know what I mean.
In the hallway.
Yeah. So there's there is ash. There's particles there.
Yeah, you're like right here, I assume.
Okay. So Spec would know this. I think he would. About like powder explosions.
Powder explosions are a thing. I don't know if you can do a powder explosion with ash. Is that a thing? I need to look it up.
Is this Google time?
Can
I think it's just any fine powder.
A powder. Powder explosions are so cool. Ash, because if it does work.
Oh, no. Dust explosion. That's
Nico's combustible dust hazard. It is combustible.
Perfect.
Oh man, no. Honestly, because of the pyromancy generator, it would explode immediately. Actually, I didn't realize ash was combustible. That would just explode on impact. You wouldn't even see the cloud of ash. Fuck that. Fuck the generator sputtering. It would just fucking explode. And on top of that, not only would it explode, so you're not here, you're more like back here. Not only would it explode,
would it injure the hand?
The potion explodes, and it causes the charged pyromancy crystal to explode, and everything that was combusting in the generator to explode. The explosion radius is large enough that you get hit by the explosion.
Perfect. Would it injure the hand?
The hand is fucked up. I need you to make.
That means
I need you to pick a number between 1 and 8.
Is this like a pick, or can I roll my dice?
You can roll your dice. I don't care how you pick your number.
Roll the dice.
You can roll a die.
Let's do that. 6.
6? Okay.
Yeah, let's do
Shrapnel
6.
goes flying, but none of it hits you.
Easy.
The explosion itself hits you. You get knocked against the wall. It knocks the wind out of you, and you take another damage, and your head is swimming. Like, you are probably a little concussed. If nothing, just by the air pressure in this very enclosed room. If not for the actual impact.
Aren't you glad I asked that powder explosions are a thing?
I'm glad you asked, because I knew powder explosions were a thing. I just thought of it like with flour and other things that are like flammable. I just didn't think of it as like ash as being flammable, but I suppose it is.
Dust explosions are caused by just small particles being near each other but not touching. That's why it does that.
Right. Well, you did it. You caused the thing. The hand explodes. And you see the hand itself immediately retract back into the massive room across from it, scraping and sliding across the floor as it does, as it clearly hasn't been moved in a while, and it gets absorbed back into the main body.
Does the activity of the generator itself seem like it did anything to the surroundings of me or it?
The generator?
Yeah.
Like the explosion?
Yeah, did it seem like power lights flickered or anything? Like, does it seem
Oh, like when the hand blew up, did it affect the thing? Not really. You're pretty affected.
I want to say, Spec definitely thought that the potion itself was the explosion. He definitely thinks that was the explosion.
100%, because he didn't see the ash. He didn't see jack shit. He just saw a big boom and he knew it was a pyromancy thing. So
He
yeah,
definitely knew that. That's just explosion.
that's just explosion. Yeah, because you threw it at a sparking engine basically, and it just kerblam.
What else could have made it explode? Come on now.
What else could have made it explode? Thanks, Dr. Speck, genius PhD. So it's retracted his hand. Otherwise, this thing hasn't really reacted. Do you move kind of into the hallway and out where the hand once was?
He's definitely checking. He's checking. I think it would step up to like where the hallway starts, and would then proceed to peek in a little bit.
Yeah. So as you peek in, you see that this hallway is almost untouched compared to all the other ones. It doesn't have the scratches. It doesn't have all the other bullshit going on. And you just see this massive structure. And now that you're in the hallway and a little bit closer. Oh, also your light goes out. So you just have the dim lights from this thing. But
okay.
it's enough at this point.
Yeah.
As you look, you see it has other arms. Many other arms going out to many other hallways.
Oh.
Throughout.
Like the system, kind of. Is there anything? Does this seem like the center?
It does. This does seem like the center, and it's just a massive parts. Very similar in construction to everything else.
Speck's gonna just assume that a core is in there.
It's probably a safe assumption.
Yeah, it seems right. The arm that was a victim of experimentation. That's what I'm calling it.
The victim of experimentation.
The victim of experimentation. How does it seem to be, or is it like not there anymore?
The hand got completely blown up, but it has just been entirely absorbed. You can't even see it anymore into the mass.
Oh, so like I don't even see like a port or opening into the core.
You kind of saw it move in, but it blends in so much with everything else. This thing could be a giant mass of arms, and you wouldn't know.
Core. How big does... I'm just gonna keep calling it a core. How big does this core look?
So you don't know how big the room is, but across, it's easily 60 feet across.
60?
Yeah, you're gonna need to get closer to the railing. There's a little catwalk on the inside to see how far it goes down and how far it goes up. But considering how far you've gone down, if you're at the ground floor, this thing's at least going to be about as tall, about 60 or 70 feet tall, because you've gone down the trash chute and then down again.
Okay. Speck's moving in. Speck's gonna... He's curious. He wants to see. He's gonna step on the cat rail. He wants to really get like a view of this.
So as you move in, kind of go in this way, right? And you're on the edge of this massive hole. And you look over, you do see lights from civilization above. And it doesn't actually go up that much. You're actually pretty close to the top of this thing. It goes up maybe one more level, and then it just goes down maybe 80 feet. It just dips into the earth. Passing down. As you look, you see all these lights coming from inside, and it's this big stratus of metal and wires and pieces and lights, and you really can't be sure how it's put together, and it looks like a pile of junk, but you know it can move and react.
Does this seem organic in the sense that the creature in the trash... Whoa! In the trash chute was organic? In like...
Very similar.
Very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't call it living, but functioning, kind of.
Yeah, a functioning thing. And in the same way, when it's not activated, it's very still and dead. If it hasn't sensed anything.
Does this have to be... I think this is something with like... Oh... I'm gonna put 4 points into empathy. Does this... So it's gonna be 0. Does this seem like this destruction of the generator affected it negatively?
You know, you're taking your darndest look at this thing, trying to reach out to another living being, and it seems about as cold and dead as a piece of concrete.
Oh, so it's nothing important. That it didn't need that generator. Um,
Not to you.
yeah, definitely didn't. Is there any speck-shaped holes or like entrances that he could climb into to find his way closer, like to the? Can I reach the core from where I am?
It would be a jump. It would be a risky jump.
It would be a risky jump.
But you could jump off of the railing towards the core, and it's got plenty of holes in it. It's a barely put together mishmash haystack of metal. So there's plenty of ways to scramble in there.
Oh, okay. I don't have an easy way to get fire anymore.
You do not.
Spec has just been going through destroying things, thinking that it's fair.
This is fair. I love that's the word. Fair.
Yeah, it's like it came after me first. I don't think that arm did anything to him. That arm did nothing to him.
It came after him.
You know, you're right.
It came after him.
Are there any holes or openings that I could see directly through that like might show me something inside the core? Something similar to like the core that I had, but like on a bigger scale, even?
If you want to make a check, you can try to see something like that.
I have 8 points now. Oh, right. I think it's 1 point into analysis, 2 points into focus. So that's 5, and then 5 in awareness. Yeah, so it'll be 5 all of mine.
Okay. So as you look in, you do see a general downward trend of all these pieces, right? Of this big lattice of metal and wiring. So you imagine if there's going to be a core, it's going to be down further, especially from what you remember of the last thing, if it's built in the same way.
Well, I had an idea, and I don't think I have the MP for that idea.
Oh, you had a thought?
I had a thought. And I think it's very clever. But I know that it's completely RNG if this works. Because I don't know what potion I made.
You don't know what potion you made.
And I don't know if it'll blight me.
And you don't know if it'll
Wait,
blight
so
you.
Okay, so to make this sure, how am I negatively affected by going into negative MP, but not going to -10?
-1 per point. -1 action point per point.
Oh,
It's similar to taking damage.
that's kind of important.
That's kind of important. It's kind of hard to ignore.
Okay. This is something I don't know because I'm a fake biomed student. I know I took chemistry and and I'm familiar with the human body, but I don't know how they work. The vial of eyeballs, could I get blood from that?
Certainly not fresh blood. Not really. Not really. Like there would be if they were like fresh eyeballs, but they've been sitting in embalming fluid.
Fair. What about the core? Would I be able to get blood from that?
The core? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it has a heart, right?
Oh yeah, the core that you took with you. Yeah, it's got a heart.
Yeah, it has a heart, right? And this thing has contact with blood as an activation.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to activate that potion, you could throw it at the a new core or use the core that you have.
I should ask for this. How much of a jump would it seem to go into a hole or like to get some standing on the core?
You're gonna need to clear at least a 5-foot jump, which is about as tall as you are. It's doable, but a little spooky.
I think that's to insult anything today. Oh, I should ask. Does this seem? This seems clearly magical in power. Is something like Magitech that like I might have some information about with my traits?
It's not any Magitech you've seen before is the problem. You've never seen something this biological.
Gotcha. I should ask, does this feel like there's a way to climb upwards? Because if he can't deal with this, he's just gonna leave.
Not really. There is more walkways above you, so you'd have to somehow climb up and then get out around the walkway. If you can, you could just leave right now.
Are the arms only on this level, or does it seem like if I look down, there's other arms going out?
There's other arms going out, plenty.
Oh, so I feel like I did nothing to this.
There's some arms going out even above too.
I think as a test first, he's gonna. Can I reach at it or poke at it with the arm I have, or is that not 5 feet enough?
With the arm? Well, if you stretch out, you could just barely poke it with your length of arm. Like if you're hanging out over the railing.
It has a hook at the end, though, right?
It does.
Okay, then yeah, he's fine with that. If anything happens, he'll just hook and hang on.
Okay.
I think he's gonna put some finesse in that. I think that's gonna be 4 finesse, 4 focus. That's all he needs for that. So that's 5 finesse, 8 focus to just poke, touch, make sure he doesn't fall off.
Yeah, if you're just touching, you can barely hook onto something.
Does it feel like this thing is jostling or reacting to that, or is it just like it's a lot of the scope that
it completely?
I think he's gonna try to get a. I think he's gonna try to get a holding on it with the hook, and like make his way to climb on it, kind of like a mountain climber with
climbing gear. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do that. He's gonna definitely try to climb on it, peek inside the mishmash of mechanics, see if there's anything inside.
Okay, well, whenever you're ready.
How'd you? Yeah, he's full sending that. I think it's gonna be split with finesse, strength, and focus or awareness. Focus. That's definitely a focus thing. This is something acrobatic, kind of. Would you as a game master, would you consider that more acrobatic or more athletic of a thing?
Well, you're not running and jumping. You're just kind of already hooked on, and you're just trying to like pull in. So it's an edge case, but I feel like no, I'd say acrobatics.
Acrobatics?
I'd say it still leans into acrobatics.
Then he's doing focus there, so that's finesse, focus, and strength. I guess. Yeah. So, that's a +3 for me. I'm trying to think how I want to sort that out. 3 focus. Nah. 3 finesse, 3 power, and then 2 focus. So that's 5 focus, 4 finesse, 2 power, 2 strength. Whoa. He's gonna try to climb, peek inside, just get steady footing on this core of the thing.
So you reach out, and you make sure you're focused in, you're lined up, you hook it on. But as you pull yourself in, you don't have enough of a grip on the hook, and you swing in, and it slips out of your hand with only 2 power, and you fall straight down onto a beam, and you knock the wind out of you again. You hear a crack, and you take 2 damage from fall damage.
Definitely not.
You have a broken rib.
That crack. Normal everyday life.
Yeah, you're definitely in a lot of pain.
He's used to this.
And your hook is 3 stories above you. Yeah, you're still about halfway up this thing. So technically, you're right next to where you need to be, but you're a little fucked up.
Always have been. From the beam, can I cross over to it, or does it seem like I'm at someplace else?
You're pretty close to the core, so there's lots of things that go to the core. And there is a core, by the way.
Okay. Can I make my way to the core? Like, walking on this beam, or is that something that I would fumble with?
Yeah, you absolutely can. You can make your way to the core.
Yeah, I'd make my way to the core, see if I can inspect it, see if there's anything that looks weird. From this core, does it look like the core reaches, like, close to civilization? Like, if I get to the top of this core, can I get out?
If you got to the top of this, it would be close. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be close. Do you want to try to get to the top, or are you gonna get to?
I'm gonna inspect the core, whatever the core is. Does the core seem lower?
The core of the core. No, you're right there.
Oh, I'm just like staring at it.
Yeah, because you fell down 2 stories. You fell into it.
I planned this.
Yeah. As you look, it is one large mass of flesh.
Ew.
Very much surrounded by other metals.
Okay. So it looks like a mega version of the core that I have.
Yeah.
The creature core. I don't know. I just wrote creature core. I don't know what to call it. Does this seem... You said flesh. Is this more protected, or is this like the same metal or whatnot of the first one? I'd assume it's more protected.
It's definitely more protected, but it still has holes. It's not perfect. It's just more like a ball of yarn, but in metal wrapped around it. So you can see in.
Okay.
It's kind of like through the cracks.
And you said before, like, this is kind of like mismatched of metal and stuff. Does it seem like held together well? Like, not the core itself, but like the structure of everything. Does it seem held together well, or like, again, just like little joints, bolts, and stuff like that?
The metal, this is definitely like metal beams and such. So these are held together by massive bolts. If you were relative size to this, it would be easy to take apart, but no, not for you at your current scale.
More so, a further question. That creature in the garbage chute, when its core was, I'm gonna call it deactivated, when I beat the hell out of the core,
yeah,
it fell apart. Do you think, would a spec be able to determine if the same thing would happen here? Like, if I break this core, will the beam start falling? It's like that kind of built together.
The other one didn't really fall. It collapsed in on itself because it lost power. This one would definitely do that. Yes, actually, there are a lot of joints that are being held together by like hydraulics. So what it looks like. But yeah, this would collapse in on itself like a very deadly balloon.
I'm glad Spec is so smart to ask. I don't know if I could set up something to be delayed. I don't know why Spec wants to destroy this. Actually, first off, from the inside, does it seem easier to climb up and out, or like climb to the top from the inside?
It's going to be a hike, and it's going to take some time, but it's definitely doable.
Doable?
Yeah.
How dangerous does it seem of a trek?
It's not. You could probably take like a 70-year-old lady through this.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna climb to the top.
Yeah, there's a lot of different cross sections. It's kind of like a big jungle gym on the inside.
Oh, That's fun.
Yeah, as you climb up. I mean, you're pretty fucked up. What is your health? 6?
6.
You're almost halfway dead after that last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're singed, your hands cut to shit, and you have a broken rib or 2.
Gee, this is normal. What are you talking about?
Yeah, as you limp up the beams and slowly make your way up towards the surface.
I feel like I should have asked. Has any of the checks I've done so far, proc anxiety?
No, actually, not yet.
Surprising.
Very surprising, but it does happen. I told you, some sessions it'll do absolutely nothing.
Just to make sure, to like, oh, I want this to like go as poorly as possible.
It's certainly gone poorly so far.
I mean, none of the spells that I threw messed up. They all seem to work in the situation.
That's actually true. You've gotten a pretty 50-50 of good and shit luck, which is probably more representative of your character.
Yeah.
But as you get towards the top, it's pretty clear there's a solid 20-30 feet between the top of this thing and any of the grates at the surface.
Oh. From where I am, can I jump to one of the higher catwalks? Like the catwalk on the highest story.
Yeah. That would leave you with, like, a solid 20 feet left to go. But yeah, you can.
Oh, I have to jump upwards?
Yeah. You'd have to... Yeah. You'd have to get to a very end of something and make another harrowing jump. And we know what happened with the last one.
Dear.
And you're only more hurt than you were before.
Yeah. Yeah, think my way through this.
Thankfully, this thing isn't moving.
Thank God. What would have happened if I hit the core?
Yeah, I fucking wonder. You'd basically be crushed between a pair of giant industrial scissors.
Yeah. Would have been a blazing way to go out.
Yeah, it certainly would have been a way.
I'm trying to think, is there any way I could reach that without jumping, or is there anything I could see around me that makes it... Or if I were to jump down, like jump one under that, jump a story under that, and that'd just be where I was before.
That would
like
just
that
be where
level?
you were before, yeah.
Oh.
Actually, no, it would be one up from where you were before. There were 2 stories above you before.
Okay. I think right now my goal is just to get outside. That'd also probably be an easier jump to make, I'd assume.
Yeah, it would be a much easier jump. You could actually probably walk there. No, you could walk to it. There are arms that reach out on that catwalk.
Oh. Yeah, I'd walk that. I'd take that be on stable with heavy quotation mark ground.
So you make your way, you climb your way down. Surprisingly enough, the metal is wet.
Ew.
I have no idea how to describe it beyond the idea that it's sweating.
It's moist metal.
It's moist. And it's slick, too. It's not just water.
Oh, like, this is not... Do I know this liquid? Like, if I were to, like, inspect it, would I know what this is?
It almost feels like grease, but not. Like, it's like grease and pine pitch mixed together.
Gotcha. Moving to the closest hallway, do I see the same thing as like the other ones where it's just like a hand gripping a generator, or is this a different thing that I see?
It's a hand gripping a generator, but as you look in, there's a figure standing there.
Oh. What's the figure look like?
It's a large hallway. You have the big old hand.
Yes, sir.
Coming out of it. So at the end of this hallway, there is this hunched over figure. Shoulders slumped, arms down. Some kind of humanoid. Staring downwards.
Does it notice me?
It doesn't seem to, if it does. It doesn't seem to react to you, if it does.
I'm gonna... Staying where I am, I have, like, visuals on this. Like, the room is, like, lit enough for me to, like, see this? Or is it, like, not lit at all?
It's lit by the generator, so, and the arm. So it's that faint, dull red light. It's not reliable light.
Okay. Looking at this, because this is, like, the first humanoid thing I've seen.
Yes, since you fell. Since you escaped.
Yes. I'm gonna stay where I am and just try to identify it. See what it is, who it is, if I recognize it as a thing, as like another bot. Does it seem bigger than me? Does it seem by size?
No, it seems much taller.
Yeah, I'm gonna plant my feet and just investigate with all 6 of my energy, all 6 of my action points with a straight 10.
In, which stat?
Analysis. Straight analysis.
It's definitely, pretty fucked up. If this was akin at some point, it definitely isn't now.
I have no idea what this is.
No idea what this is. Like, maybe it's a shapeshifter, like, that got caught halfway, but, like, it has sagging flesh. It has extra joints.
Checking again with another 10 analysis. Because I don't know how much time has passed. I have his pocket watch. I haven't looked at it. Is this another hallucination of mine?
You shake off the hallucination, and it definitely is.
Okay.
In fact, most of the light in this room is a hallucination. You weren't that bad to imagine everything else, but this definitely was. There's still the arm, there's still the main piece.
But the figure is...
But the figure's gone.
Okay.
Most of the light is gone too.
If I threw an insult at it, I would have been scared. Not gonna lie. I'm like, okay, that's... Again, that's normal.
That's
She's
normal.
used to that. She's used to that.
That's just normal.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Looking around, is there... This place seems cleaner, right? There's no garbage around it, there's nothing here.
Yeah, actually, correct. Much cleaner.
I should've... Nah, Spec remember and not care. He would've went for the hook to grab it back, but it's fine. He doesn't have that arm anymore, he doesn't need it.
You do sense that you're decently close to the surface.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume looking around there's no ladders or anything, no way to like move up and down catwalks in this room.
Not in this room, no.
But I think we make the same check outside with the where the core is, if there's ways to move vertically up there.
No, in this main chamber there doesn't seem to be any ways to move. To move up.
Yeah.
You could almost Yeah. Right now, you're not seeing anything.
This feels like there's something doable, but there's probably not. Nah, Spec believes. He definitely believes.
Spec would.
Spec would. Spec never doubts himself.
This is
'Cause
one admirable trait.
He has the blind confidence.
Yes, he does.
I guess you could call that.
Self-belief? Sure. Maybe not to this extent, but like, you know, self-belief.
He's never done anything wrong.
Spec's never done anything wrong.
Never done anything wrong. And if it was for a good reason.
It was for the noble cause of science.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this room looks almost identical to the story below it. Correct?
Yes. Well, no, the room that the hand is in over there definitely looks different. Not only in the fact that there's less trash, but it's also less sewer-like.
Just cleaner in a sense.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, specifically, there are pipes running along these walls.
Pipes?
Yeah. Like water pipes, probably. But pipes.
I see where it leads, like looking up. Does it go to like a solid surface, or is it something can I climb up the pipe?
Oh, you can definitely get on these pipes, sure. But it's just in this tunnel. They don't lead any farther up, at least here.
I think
you can go in this tunnel, by the way.
Yeah, he would start moving in the tunnel.
You move in.
I feel like Spec would learn not to take another jump. He's not jumping again.
He's a little too fucked up now.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be limping right now.
Oh yeah, I mean you're down to 6 action points.
But thankfully, his brain hasn't been injured. Minus a concussion.
Hasn't been injured minus the brain injury.
Definitely a concussion.
Most definitely concussion.
The avid drug use.
The avid drug use. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
How hold on.
How would he deal with that?
How long has it been? Let's see. What did I say?
Well, I had 2 hallucinations, which should be every 30 minutes. I guess that's 2 panics?
Yes. At least 2 we'll say 3 stacks of panic if you want to take a hit of opium, of new opium.
Yeah, I don't think I have new opium on. Would I know how to make new opium right now?
No,
I think I have the materials for it.
You definitely don't have the materials. So you just have 3 stacks of panic.
Can I get a reminder of what panic does?
You can only put... You have to put a minimum of... Well, with 3 stacks, 3 points into any stat. So...
Ooh. Well, I don't think I put 1 into anything anyway, so I was always playing with panic.
Yeah, you've always been within the realms. Like I said, it's not until it hits 4 that it really starts to set in.
Or if I have 6 AP.
Or if you have 6 AP, that is actually most of your AP, isn't it? Yeah. Panic does exponentially increase with getting fucked up, which makes sense. So,
moving in the hallway, in the tunnel now. Does it look similar? I assume it looks cleaner than the one a story down.
It does. It looks much cleaner.
Less trash in the way, like it's just water running and I could walk past.
Yeah, you can move past it.
I don't know. How is it easier to see here, or is it just as pitch black?
It's a little easier to see. There's a little bit of street light maybe coming through. You're not quite sure where it's coming from. There is definitely some light coming from the arm in the generator, though. So maybe it's just that.
It's enough to, what's it called? Enough to get my bearings in the tunnel, or would I still be like
the most barest
stumbling through?
Like, you're basically stumbling, yeah.
Okay. I think he'd move through the tunnel, seeing if there's another fork or something to see other things. I think he'd start moving through the tunnel.
Past the generator or towards the generator?
Past the generator.
So you start moving past that room, and it is more kind of an elbow as you move. And as you walk, you're kind of feeling along the wall. You feel an incline.
Like something going up?
Like a ramp going up.
Would I be able to see anything from the ramp, or is it just like, this is an incline?
You can't see anything, but you know it's an incline. You can feel it going up, and it's a walkable one, too.
There's a light at the end of the incline, or no?
It does. There is a little bit of street light at the end of the incline, yes.
He would definitely go up the incline. Any vision, anything to help his vision, he will take.
Okay. So you move up the incline, moving your way across along the wall.
Is it easier to see the more I go up?
Yes.
Okay.
As you get up, you do get to this area. It's a hallway, and things are a little different now. Now that you can actually see, things feel a lot different. It's not just in your mind palace, so to speak. Well, kind of, except for one detail. You'll see in a second.
Okay.
Oh, it almost feels darker. You see streetlights from above, these big basement windows. It's starting to actually get towards morning now, which is a great sign.
It's great. Those like windows are grates?
They're, well, yeah, they're grates. Yeah, they would be grates. I want to say windows, but no, they'd be grates. They have iron bars going up. So you can definitely tell you're heading up on this incline towards some kind of maintenance tunnel, now that you can see. But this time there is a figure.
Oh.
It has two heads. Otherwise, it's mostly humanoid.
Yeah.
But it looks kind of haphazard somehow. Like its spine doesn't quite work, and it's fucking huge too. As if it was made with AI art. It's absolutely fucked up.
Oh. Does it see me?
It's definitely looking at you.
Looking with full analysis again, does this seem like machine work or biological?
You have no idea. It is right between the two.
Does it seem like it has blood?
It definitely has blood, that's for sure.
Okay, no questions asked. This is a freak of nature.
And freaks deserve to die.
Like, definitely, it's either from his past experiences, nothing from where he has been passive or friendly. So he's gonna assume it's dangerous. And if he can't get if he can't get it alive, he might as well have its body to test on later. Makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense. That is a normal, well-functioning brain thing to think.
He's not called a good scientist.
He just is one.
Yeah. So I think, how much distance does it seem between us?
There's probably 30 feet here. 30,
Okay,
40 feet.
I think, yeah, he's gonna get his blow dart out and dip a dart in the ice air concoction
Ooh.
and ready to fire that.
Just reminding myself here. Okay. So you need points in accuracy and you need points in attack.
Oh, accuracy. Okay. So is attack just something you put points in?
Mm-hmm. Just like anything else.
Okay.
And then you deal damage over its defense. But of course, a blow dart only can deal a maximum of 1 damage.
I'm banking on whatever this potion does.
Uh-huh.
So my accuracy is focus mod, so lucky me. And the blow dart itself is a +4 mod. Or did I write that wrong?
Yes, both do, because the blow dart itself uses analysis. You have a +4 in both attack and accuracy when using the blow dart.
Planned. It's perfect for me then.
It is.
I think I'll do it simple then. 6 both ways, so 7 to attack, 7 accuracy. I mean 7 to attack, 6 accuracy.
Okay. You lose 4 MP.
Oh, I forgot that's a bit.
You start.
Oh, so that I assume that hits.
Yes.
Because it has to activate with the blood first.
Yes, it does hit. You do lose 4 MP. I believe you go down to -1.
I'm at -1 now.
You can feel this terrible, bitter, black, thick substance start welling up in your mouth. And you have lost 1 MP.
Yes.
A freezing gust of wind hits you from the creature. Everything around it gets frozen in ice. And it starts immediately trying to move towards you in this weird, like, it moves first with its hips, and then a leg comes out to catch it from falling. And then before it can, like, fall forward, it throws an arm so that its body doesn't fall backwards. And then throws another leg forward to keep it from, you know, falling forwards. And it keeps stumbling in this fashion towards you, barely keeping afloat. But you can see the ice is slowing this already slow creature down.
Does the ice seem to ever... Does the ice seem like it would, what's it called? Stop, like, halt it moving completely, or is this something I have to start moving away from?
It's definitely moving very slowly. It is moving at most 5 feet around.
Does it seem like this ice is...
Progressing?
Yes.
How long do you watch it? It's moving 5 feet around. You've 30 feet.
Around and it's 30 feet away. I think he'd watch it for a good 2 rounds.
After the first round, the ice explodes from its wound.
Okay.
Freezing it.
25 feet away from me, it explodes. In ice.
Yes.
Okay.
In a giant cube of ice.
Planned. Never put it.
With one head slightly exposed.
Does it seem like it can move anymore?
No, I mean, even the exposed head, there's ice coming out of its mouth.
I think it's gonna walk past it now and just slap its head.
You spiteful son of a bitch. You do. And it's hard. It's a big piece of ice. A chunk of its cheek falls off as you slap it. And as you move away, you have to cough up blight. It's sputtling all over you. It's on the ground. It's not too bad, but it's like you have to constantly spit. You know, it kind of feels like the moment like right after you vomited, and it's just kind of coming out like a little bit more.
Okay, so this is weird. Outside of this, I really enjoy the feeling of like after you throw up. It feels refreshing. I will not let anybody else say otherwise.
I mean, like, specifically the mouth feeling, not like the body feeling.
Yeah, I understand. I just want that to be known. I want that to be
to be out in the world.
Yeah, throwing up, the result after throwing up feels refreshing.
Definitely when you're sick at the very least. I can agree with that.
But yeah, walking past it, seeing that this is no longer a threat, he would walk back. He would write in his notebook what ice, air data. He might even draw a little sketch of the little dude.
You're kind of
Of the big
limping. I
dude,
mean,
actually.
you're at half
Yeah.
speed right now.
Yeah, I'm limping out, but like I'm walking past it.
Yeah. Its eyes don't even move to follow you. It's completely frozen. And as you pass by, there's just a simple ladder, as if none of this had happened. It goes up to a manhole cover.
But he's leaving.
I want you to try to open up that manhole cover. How many points can you put into strength right now?
I could put 5 points. It'll be -4 to open it. It'll be 4 to open it.
You have to struggle for a very long time, and you gain a couple stacks of exhaustion doing so. But you do open up the manhole cover. And finally, after hours of this horrific ordeal, you end up staring up at the kind of bustling, completely unaware city around you. Just the huge skyscrapers all around.
The major W we took there.
A major W you took there. And that's what we call a win. Congratulations, you fucking survived.
Surprisingly enough.
Surprisingly enough, you fucking survived.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a trip.
I'm glad you liked it.
Oh yeah, most definitely the first thing Spec does is he gets a hit of that new opium.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm assuming he just scuttles into some kind of,
He probably tries to find his way back to his lab or something.
Yeah. Is a little, shack out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that's understandable. If I was him, I'd do the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah, if I was in this situation, I'm like, I gotta forget what happened.
I gotta get the fuck out of here. He's also, like, having some serious withdrawals, too, like, so, who can blame him?
Already half dead, he at least wants to go out happy.
So, congratulations to Spec for surviving, and,
Woo!
how'd you like Hearth?
Oh no, that was great.
I'm glad. Sorry, I'm finishing up this little end card. I'm really proud of it. I like that end card.
Yeah, I'm also, what's it called? I'm also just like
Enamored.
fixing the inventory.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had to like remove the file. It's very convenient that it felt like I used everything that I made correctly.
You fucking did. You absolutely did use everything you made correctly. For everyone who's watching, maybe if they're watching a VOD, Latrap didn't have any idea what those potions did. It was part of the character. Totally random, the use of those potions. Oh, you know what? Actually, there's one thing I need to do. You lost the hook.
I did lose the hook.
You're no longer Captain Hook.
I was thinking like he would have went back for the hook, but if you forgot it, he wouldn't go back for it.
Right, and also there's no way that he would be able to get back for it, really. Because it was a ways away, and he was fucked up. If he wasn't gonna make a jump otherwise, he wasn't gonna make a jump back onto the fucking thing.
Out of curiosity, what would I have needed to make that jump?
Oh, you would have needed like 2 more points in power to make that like hook on, because it was a pretty good idea. Really, you would have not taken that damage if you had 1 more point in power. You were so close. You just slipped off at the very end. If you fell all the way to the bottom,
what was the score for the power? Like score needed.
3 would have tied it. Yeah.
I don't think anxiety felt went in there. No.
Nope. Yeah. Also, if you had fallen, you would have fucking died.
I imagine like that's 80 stories. That's like 80 feet.
Yeah, like 8 stories down. You would have hit if you hit the bottom. That would have been fucking it.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, standing on the top of the court, how much would that have to have been to jump? I don't think I would have been able to, like, I felt I wouldn't have been able to with my HP at being 6 at that time.
Yeah, to make the jump, up, it would have had to be at least 6 in power.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that because
Yeah,
I have -1.
Yeah, you couldn't have even done that. If you still had the tendril potion and you knew what the tendril potion was, you could have used it. But no, you got it out of the first thing. This was really fun. I really liked having like a visual. How did you like having the visual aid? I should ask.
Oh, it was great.
I'm glad. I really like doing it. This is the first time I've ever tried it, and it worked really well, I feel.
Yeah, really good drawings, by the way. I'm like, oh, he's an artiste.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I really liked it.
Like, what's it called? The first drawing with the blue bulb thing, that first creature. I'm like, oh, I'm getting nightmares today.
Oh yeah, that from the doorway thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked sketching. I just haven't had like thought of a way to do it into this, but like doing it relief.
It didn't seem like it takes long to like get them out, because like the time, I don't know if it's just me, like the time it took me to like think about the moves, so that's enough time for you to draw.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it worked surprisingly well. I'm really happy with how this all worked.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I might just do drawings this way.
Let's go.
It's
art stream.
Simple and yeah, fuck it, art stream. Maybe we do art stream.
Also, no intermission, it seems.
No intermission. No, we went straight through. That was just really fun. I was just into it. You were into it. Like we were fucking vibing. Okay, well, I think we're gonna call it here.
Yes.
Thank you for everybody for coming. I'm really excited to do this more in the future.
Yes.
Possible just art vibing streams. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, you can do some of those like recommendations with some stuff.
Yeah.
Just our recommendations.
Just
I guess
or just
now
scenes.
I feel like I've earned the right to look at what all the spells do now.
Yeah. Now you've earned the right to like start going through them, and now you want to know.
Yeah, like what could have I done? I think that like in that situation, I didn't have any time to like make a potion.
No, not really. I mean, you could have, but you would have had to deal with a lot more fucking.
I would have
new opium addict.
Been blighted as well.
Yes, that is true. You would
even more blighted if I activated things.
Yeah.
I think like the one thing that kept on catching me off guard is like, right, I don't use these things for free.
Yeah, they're not free. They're not free because normally it would be. You would have already paid the cost, but not you.
Yeah, not me. I'm weird.
you're a little weird.
Also, knowing that, because I would have tried to, at the core, I would have tried to set up some kind of way for like the blood of like the heart or the eye to soon go into the potion as I'm there. I'm like, oh, that would have frozen me and then killed me.
Yes, it would have. I'm like, if he does this, it's fucking over. But
I feel like you could have imagined the gears turning in my head even through VC. I'm like, yeah, he's not getting out of this if he does that.
Yep. No, I was aware. I was aware of the feeling. But then you asked like, what would happen? I'm inside of this thing. What would happen if I killed it inside? Like, yeah, it would collapse like a big old Connect set.
Yeah, I'm glad I had the foresight to remember the first thing that we saw.
Yeah. I'm glad it stuck in your head. I'm glad I can give you nightmares off of that visual of turning around and seeing that pretty face.
What was it? Was it air, ice, 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 air, air?
It was air, ice. Was the that little freeze potion, which you used immaculately, by the way. The technical description is that it creates a 20-foot area of slow, and if anything's there, the next round it gets frozen in a block of ice. But if you stab it into somebody, you know, especially a creature that slow,
are frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. So it was worth the blight.
It was. You completely dealt with that asshole because he was slow, but he definitely wasn't weak. But you know, if you get frozen from the inside out,
like one-shot me. I don't know if he would have won. What do you one-shot me?
He could have. You were at 6 health. I mean, he definitely could have knocked you down and then killed you.
Yeah, I wasn't getting up if I got knocked down.
Yeah, it was gonna be a little fucky, but we got through it.
Yeah. I don't know if the Chronicles like end here.
Oh, I hope they don't. I want to see this nasty asshole in a social situation. This unwashed asshole. But
Yes.
we're gonna call it here. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful
Good
night.
night.
Get ready for more Hearth content later. And I'll talk to y'all later.
What are we streaming next time, Mr. Streamer?
Oh, when are we streaming next time? What is today, Sunday? Tomorrow. We're streaming tomorrow, and we're picking up the draft again, and we're finishing the Boros draft. The Boros Brawl deck.
Let's go.
Important
Let's
information.
go.
Boros Brawl and draft tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
Adios.